Hi, hello, and welcome. We're going to do some Oracle Councilorship or check-in. I have this energy of an ex trying to come back. I was reading on a personal story and it kind of evolved and started getting triangulated, and I basically got called to the table. One thing I know is there's Gemini energy, there's Capricorn energy, and I was called to the table for Aries energy. So we have collaborative dreaming here. I'm not too familiar with this card, number 28, which is the Six of Wands. So I feel like we're winning. Somebody broke up with us or left us behind. And it's that Mike Brown effect. They didn't like you when you were down, but now you're on the way up and everybody wants a piece. This happens sometimes when I put rose hips in my tea. So, oops. So we'll use a few different oracles, but let's go ahead and see, excuse me, I forget, sound issues are crazy. I'm scratching my beard and it's coming up on the mic. Oh. Yeah, so there's a bigger picture here. Remember, if somebody's trying to take you down, they're already beneath you. And you know, if somebody's taking pot shots at you, it's because they need to feel better and they're wounded in their healing, they're wounded in their maturity. And that's an inner child that needs some, you know, affirmation, attention. Okay. So that's what I got right now. Great. I'll move on from that. Yeah, somebody was hoping for reconciliation, but they're deceptive now. Deception is not always negative, but I personally had the red flag card out earlier. So that red flag plus deception is not so bueno. Somebody's trying to reconcile, but they're wearing a false mask. I feel like it's either phony or imposter or, yeah, and they're gonna make an entrance very soon. I was getting the energy of somebody doing some kind of love spell or woo-woo energy to ease the past, grease the wheels. I don't always understand that ingratiation needs to be honest, authentic, genuine, sincere. To me, if you can't show up with your energy, if you can't show up as you are and attract what you want, it's not for you. And if you need to finagle or fandangle or, you know, grease or massage or assuage to make things easier for you, you're already out of alignment. And if you do ensnare somebody to a false love situation, I don't understand that. How are you gonna be hooting and hollering with a person? Why would you want somebody that doesn't authentically want you? And that's both, but and if you have to bait or bully to get somebody, how do you trust the connection? And how you get a person is exactly how you're going to lose a person. The wheel does go round and round. So, I mean, I'm just confused. I'm confused. But some deceptive asshole is on the way. And I feel like they're from the past. We have some kind of history with them. I do also want to say the love video is a little bit late. I've been changing the format and figuring that out. I was trying to do a flash sale around this time. Things were just behind. So if for whatever reason, you need assistance in a reading, you need like a accessibility rate or something like that, ma@oracle, excuse me. Yeah, okay, ma@oracle.ablosi.org. MA. Okay. And you know, sometimes you're going to ask for a discount or something and I won't give it to you. It's very rare. It's only for a few days. I'm extending this because I didn't put up the flash sale. I'm behind on the 11/11 Divine Lovers and the revolving door. I'm behind. And I'm not going to stress myself out trying to catch up. It'll happen when it happens. So Unfortunately, I need to make a concession, a compromise, which I hate. I don't like talking on the phone. I don't like emailing back and forth. I'm really great in my energy these last months, but part of it is not doing things I don't like. So anyways, long story short, you know, if you hit me a month from now or something like that, I probably won't be as flexible, and I don't care. So there's that. I'm just annoyed. I don't know what this energy is or why it's coming out this way, but somebody made a mistake. They did something, they left the relationship, they had some kind of whatever. Maybe they were going to a different person while they were with us, or they broke up with us, or we broke up with them and they're trying to get some kind of tension or pull back and forth or get a rise out of us. I'm hearing the word affirmation, so that tells me that they need a reaction. I don't understand that petty stuff. I don't get it. It's confusing to me. If you can't be authentic, genuine, sincere, if you can't be alive, bold, and in charge, if you can't go directly towards what you want, if you can't declare your intention, define your mission, you know, state your objective, especially in some kind of union, some kind of partnership, it's weird to me. And I don't understand why you work on another person to make yourself feel better. That's the thing. That means it's not your person. If you guys are not growing together, then in fact you're growing apart, and that's okay. What's not okay is when it lacks an intention, meaning like it happens by accident. And you don't work on the other person, you work on the relationship and you work on yourself, and you show up healing or healed, basically, with the minimal amount of unhealed. Okay, you show up healing to the relationship and they show up healing to a relationship, which means you're both doing your work separately. And then you work on the relationship together, which means you do your work in the relationship. And sometimes the relationship is truly sanctuary, and the home should be an extension of that. Okay, so if you're growing together and you're healing towards each other, that's great. That's phenomenal. That's called secure attachment and a healthy entanglement. But when you're enmeshed, it means you're giving up part of yourself and it's becoming disorganized, because you're going to flip flop between who you are, between what you want, and between your attachment style. And that's just a recipe for disaster. And the thing is, some people think that their toxicity or malignancy is working, but you always know it, count backwards from 15 years. I wonder when it's going to explode, implode on you. And this sounds kind of antagonistic, what I'm saying, but this is my expert opinion, my professional judgment and personal opinion, I should say. So what you want wants you. Some people see something and they don't have the self-worth and value to let it go if it doesn't fit, right? And to me, if it's not an overwhelming yes, then it's clearly a no, especially when it comes to relationships. And nobody's going to be perfect. So you can find somebody that aligns with your value, your belief, your intentions, and then you can work on certain things. But if you have to work on a person and not things going on in the relationship, it's a no-go. Okay, so these things to me are obvious. I don't understand how they're not, but there's several things about humanity that should have been obvious that weren't obvious to me, so I should keep my mouth shut. You know, me, I'm very content in the self. I'll let something go very easily. Not that I won't stick around and work on it. I am a Cancer. I do attach pretty easily. But I won't ever lose sight of myself. That's disrespectful to the divine grace of the universe. I have a sacred mission and a calling. Okay, and a man is not a plan. Nothing comes before my connection to the divine. In fact, to me, a man is an extension of my divine purpose. And I honestly believe that men or masculine energy is secondary, feminine or women, their energy is primary. And there's some further delineation on that, but you need to flesh that out fully, or it's going to sound either like horsefucky or offensive. So why don't we get in here and see what's going on? I'm just agitated. Okay, I'm agitated. So we're going to use the voodoo. I think it's New Orleans voodoo. It is, and we're going to use the Thoth. When I show you cards like that, those are the significators. There is some kind of shift, something is changing. There's a bigger picture here. So let's talk about that right now. I'm getting the energy of somebody maybe even doing magic or energy manipulation or projection to get us to come back, or to make us softer or warmer when they cross our paths again. And it's going to be concocted, finagled, some kind of energy manipulation. Look at the bigger picture. Take time out for a mini break or adventure. The situation may have come around because you've been distracted. Be confident without being overconfident to win. Okay, so be confident in order to win. Have you shown that you care? If not, now is the time. Find a balance between speaking your mind and saying too much. I do feel like this person needs to be let go, released, whatever that is, however that looks like, but they might need a little bit, I'm hearing consoling and cajoling. They need why or closure. And the thing about it is that's a misnomer. Closure comes from you. They may be able to provide facts and details, or we might be able to provide them with facts and details, but closure is a self-process, just like forgiveness is a self-process. You don't give closure. You don't get closure from the other person. And, you know, forgiveness is something you do for you. So I'm sitting here getting annoyed because I know that that person did something, whoever this person is, and now they're, you know, looking back over the shoulder, regretting the choices, which means you lacked an intention. If you have strong intentions, you typically don't regret your choices, especially when it comes to relationships. And if you do regret your choices, it's because you'll find out later on that you were misinformed in some kind of way. And yeah, you might be evolving, maturing, healing. And so you were also probably mislabeled, misperceived, misjudged something. You mistook something, you had a mistake. Okay, but if you were lacking an intention, you're gonna typically be living in remorse and regret. And that also means there's probably a personality deficit. You might have a malignant tumor kind of energy, which means that you're somewhat in an antagonistic or at least overly a toxic personality style. And that's the work you need to do on yourself, because whatever you repress and suppress, you're going to project onto others. And that's going to be a manifestation in your relationships. So I'm just annoyed right now. Let's go ahead and see. Okay, so this person is nitpicking, they're myopic, they have a whole narrative in their head. I'm getting a channel, so instead of messing around with these oracle cards, why don't we just go ahead and read here. I'm gonna do some scrying. This may force me to, or may prompt me to open up the record. If a record comes out, I'm gonna have to take it, and then we won't use this because I want to keep the reading kind of shorter, or it turns into spiritual counsel. And frankly, you won't see this for 5 weeks from now if it turns into spiritual counsel. So okay, so yeah, we're safe and secure in the self, feeling affectionate, or feeling connected, or feeling blessed. And we've come to our own defense with the, here it's the Prince of Wands, Princess of Wands, and the Nine of Pentacles. So also we're growing, we're becoming fruitful. We might be yielding, not just reaping from what we sowed. Seven of Pentacles, reaping Eight of Pentacles. We might be yielding Nine of Pentacles, meaning I'm hearing the word self-fulfilling prophecy. We're safe and secure in the self because we built ourselves up from the inside out, and we're giving fruitfulness to ourselves. I'm getting the energy the person left, they didn't see us for much, they didn't understand our worth and value at the time. And then later on, when they look over their shoulder, they realize that they mistook, mislabeled, misperceived, and now they're somewhat guilty or somewhat remorseful or somewhat sorrowful is what I'm hearing. And frankly, that's not our problem. And I'm hearing Merry Christmas, so that means there was some type of gift or blessing, and they mistook, mislabeled, misperceived. That means they abused the blessing, the gift, okay? And we're sitting on our throne, but the throne is really, we're fully in our power. Three of Cups, Two of Swords. So they did not understand that we were a blessing. They saw things, mistook things. Yeah, we're being asked to open up the record here. So they mistook, mislabeled. They didn't understand, they didn't sense, they didn't understand the get the value. Okay, so we have La Imperatrice, the Empress. So that's self-worth and value, high worth, deserving. This is a person that is high vibrational, the Empress, and also they're very deserving. They have self-respect. Now they're loving, caring, nurturing, and kind, but they're not always tolerant, especially when somebody's unhealed or doesn't do their work or doesn't recognize value. This is not a person that's going to chase. And we're this person, or this is the energy, or this is the archetype or the lesson, because it's the overall energy for the reading, the Empress. Okay, so now we have I just heard the Wheel of Fortune. So for me, especially if you're in the mission school, you'll understand, but for me, the Wheel of Fortune and the Aces have a lot to do with each other. Okay, so this person wants attention. We're already on their energy. They want attention and they want love. That they need attention and they need love. They need some type of passionate exchange, and they also want affection and an emotional commitment. They may be some kind of Pisces moon. To a lesser degree, they could be a Sagittarius rising. They also are masterminding an attack or masterminding a block. So they're also, it's something that they don't want with this King here in this deck. It's Knight, but with the King of Swords, there's also something they don't want us to do. And too bad, frankly. We have the High Priestess. So we're aware of what's going on. We do have some kind of insight, intuition into the situation. They also have very hyperactive emotions right now if they're not a Pisces moon or Sagittarius rising. And what does this mean for them? Okay, so one thing that I'm already being told is that they sense we're the real package. They might have started to see the real us. It's here we have show the world the real you. So they might be seeing us for the first time, or seeing our authentic self for the first time. They might be recognizing our value. I'm so confused here. And then we have Blue Moon. So we were a once in a lifetime event for them, a once in a lifetime connection. See the moon and the moon and the blue moon here. It can be a blue moon with the High Priestess and the moon, although really a mystery is being revealed to them, or they're sensing, they're being reminded, their intuition keeps bringing us towards them. They may be in the background watching, is what I'm getting. There's something, because we're kind of on our own grind, on our own groove, doing our own thing. Okay, we're gonna leave that there. Okay, so I'll do another round here, but I'm annoyed. I'm just agitated. No, exactly what I said is exactly what I said. Okay, so we've had a creative new beginning with the High Priestess. We have expanded our visions. And there's some kind of tempting or trigger. They might be sending barbs. I do feel if they're projecting their energy in any way, whether it's hyper intentional, meaning magic, or just, the energy is kind of rising with the flow of the moon, and it may reach across the universe towards us. They want us to kind of take a bait of some kind of, take their bait. They want to trigger, tempt us, something of that nature, even if they're not in our environment, surrounding location, even if they're at a distance, right? We might be hearing their name on the radio or the TV, or seeing their name in license plates, or their birthday and license plates. Me personally, I get a lot of things in the timestamp on emails. And my first magic was numbers. At 8 years old, I was seeing numbers everywhere. So that's what I got there. And let's just go ahead and see how this continues. I'm not particularly pleased or impressed here. And excuse me just a moment. There's some kind of 4 of cups, so we're kind of disgusted is what I'm getting, but we can be repulsed, repelled. Somebody might be doing this back burner shit, excuse my language, back burner thing. Yeah, so they treated this like an option and not the choice. Yeah, that would lose the Empress. You need to go and keep the Empress with that kind of energy. And so if you're entertaining other options, if you're looking at other people and you have the Empress counting a reading, it sucks to be you. You'll figure that one out, but it'll be the hard way. And I have been seeing that energy a lot lately too. Yeah, so now if they do come back with all this love, or they do come, yeah, we're going to be shocked with whatever they say, with whatever they do, and they're going to need soothing. I'm sorry, if you wounded me and I'm the one that needs to heal you, that sucks. It's like a person who's diagnosed with the big C, right? And you're sitting here worrying about your life, and you end up comforting all the people in your life around you because they're freaking out, but you're the one going through the experience, you know? This happens to me a lot. A friend or family will see that I've suffered some kind of distressing experience or sustained some kind of distressing experience. And they ask me, do you need anything? And I'm like, yeah, I need some space. I need some time alone. And they're upset about it. And the thing I have to explain to them, when I hate having to explain, I really lose a lot of respect if I have to explain anything. But the thing is like, if I had an experience, I'm trying to take off a load. And people trying to come around and help, especially when I'm not asking for help, they're putting a load on. It's like this is that kind of situation. They did whatever. We withdrew our energy, or we released, or they gave us a way out and we took it. And we need to console them because months later, years later, here they are needing soothing, needing closure, needing explanation. Okay, so yeah, we mounting some kind of, cause I don't think they're mounting an attack. I'm not getting it. A bunch of knights are not coming out. It's been kings and queens this whole time. Now we have the King of Cups. I'm scrying, so I'm not reading all the cards. I'm getting agitated by this because it's confusing. I don't understand. But then again, like, if it's confusing to me, it means somebody's really unhealed. They're confused, okay? Because 9 of Wands Tower card, they have some kind of revelation and it knocks them over, it unravels them. It might dismantle or destroy some kind of vision that they had. And they are going to try to manifest some kind of connection, but they're getting rejected. They're going to want to come and commit love to us. They're going to want to come and offer a long-time sustained commitment of love, King of Cups, a grand external commitment. That's what any king means, a grand external commitment. And with the cups, it's love, unless they're gay, then it might have a little bit of different connotation. And I say that because the Empress in the King of Cups can be a gay male. So it can also be somebody with their sun in a water sign, or their midheaven in a water sign. Which would mean they're an air rising. Just saying. But see, this 9 of Wands, and they're mounting some kind of story or emotional barb. I'm getting they want to, that don't do that covert, vulnerable narc thing, because if you're filled by your own brokenness, it means you're not taking accountability for your behavior, for your actions, for the mistakes you made in the past, and for your own healing. And the Empress will call that out kindly, lovingly, compassionately, but will also say, hey, there's a standard here you're not meeting. Can we talk about it? That'll be the Empress. And I'm not getting anything good here. And so now the Empress is needing to defend, okay, mastermind some type of defense. So whatever happens when this comes towards us, we're gonna need to mastermind some kind of defense, have our defenses about us, because Mm-mm. So let's look at the archetype of this person, and then we're going to still try to read from the New Orleans Voodoo. I've been rearranging my divination altar here, so I'm kind of disoriented because I'm trying to find a format that works. I need a bigger table, which is a good problem to have. All right. Yeah, so deception and very soon. They might be self-deceptive. They might really be in some illusion, delusion, confusion, I'm feeling. They're trying to redeem themselves in some kind of way, because the divine has been doing some work on them. Poor baby. I hope you get your healing. Yeah, we have a lover here. Okay, 2 popped out. Okay, they're a little bit sporadic. Yeah, see, they're okay. So this wouldn't go away, and I tried to shoo because it. Okay, so it wouldn't disappear. It wanted to stay around and talk and talk. Okay, so we'll take it. Child eternal. So they have this inability to grow up and be responsible, as I said, accountability, responsibility, extreme dependency on others for some kind of security. It can be physical or emotional. So if it's physical, it tends to be feminine. I don't mean weak and meek or damsel, but oftentimes it would be some kind of I can't. That's a female thing. It's a darker or a unhealed or distorted female thing. So if you're not resonating with that in your female bodied or female assigned or female identified, it's just talking about a distorted feminine. You might not be the distorted feminine, darling. Okay, and it's in contrast to determination to remain young, youthful, and mind, body, soul, and spirit. The ability to see things through fresh eyes. That's the healthy child eternal archetype. Okay, so this is the Carolyn Miss archetype cards. And then the 2 that came out, okay, is prostitute and lover. So prostitute talks about giving away your everything for the right now, sacrificing your eternal soul for this temporary material experience. Typically, it's a person with a low vibration or weak spirit. They're weak in their soul because they don't align with their values. They typically fall for anything because they don't stand for anything. And like I said, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. So this is about placing material considerations above self-empowerment. So then this can also be the grass is greener kind of energy with this prostitute. And instead of like, accentuating the challenge of surviving without negotiating the power of the spirit. So they're weak in their soul is what I'm getting. Or they were weak in their soul and they woke up, because it's a significator for this deck, but I have God and fallen, because that's the tower as well. You know me, I'm the tower. Lord High Grieva, High Grieva Ji Baba. Okay, so anyways, like I have fallen and God as a significator for the deck. And when I was shuffling, the God card flipped over. I flipped it back over and kept going because I was disoriented. But I do feel like the divine had to poor baby. I get it, kind of. So we have, this person is obsessive with us now, and they might not be obsessive stalker with us, but ruminating, oscillating, vacillating in their head. Let's hope it's not marinating in hate or something like that. But their devotion or their love or their desire for us might become a little bit unhealthy, if not self-destructive. Okay, so this is an obsession now. It might be an obsessive passion. It might be an obsessive, like ruminating, oscillating, vacillating. They might be doing self-harm, and I don't necessarily mean, physical self-harm to themselves. They might be hurting themselves by not releasing, not letting go, not choosing healing, not choosing to move on, move forward, maybe even leaving us in the past, leaving us behind as a mistake that was made. Oftentimes when a low-grade toxic personality style starts to heal, starts to go towards their self-accountability and self-healing, they can be fueled by regret. They can be fueled by remorse, and you're not always able to repair or to recapture all the connections that you lost during your unhealed phase. And it's very, very common in addiction circles. If you wake up one day healing or going towards a healthier lifestyle, oftentimes it's fueled by remorse of who you harmed, who you hurt. I've had that happen. I woke up and looked behind me and I had all this healing, but there's a trail of souls I left behind me. And it's very, very, very painful because you know that you would have done better if you knew better. And a lot of times you're running around, chasing around people trying to explain, hey, you know, you misinterpret my intention. That may or may not be true. The thing about it is before you really get into those conversations, because if there's 20 conversations to have, you'll be lucky to have 9 or 10 of them. You'll probably only get to have 4 or 5 of those conversations. Like I said, oftentimes it's fueled by remorse and regret. If you're not taking accountability, responsibility for your own innocence, ignorance, naivete, immaturity, incompetence, ineptitude, really a lack of skillfulness, there's no way to really authentically show up with these other people, places, and things, because you're going to want some kind of reprieve. You're going to want some type of forgiveness. You're going to want some kind of affirmation for what you did. You've got to show up and be responsible, accountable. Listen, and accountability and responsibility don't always exist in the same place at the same time. Responsibility, sometimes you can abscond from or, you know, bypass. You cannot bypass accountability. If you were present in the situation, you have to be accountable. You contributed something, if not just your energy and presence, right? So be accountable for what happened. Pick it up and keep it moving. If you own the basketball court and somebody else throws their ball onto your basketball court, you're going to need to pick it up and keep it moving, the ball, or you're going to have a liability insurance deductible. You hear what I'm saying? Maybe you understood that, maybe you didn't, but that's what I'm saying. So we had child eternal, prostitute, and lover. We need great passion and devotion, unbridled appreciation for someone or something. Instead of this wanting, hoping, wishing, praying, yearning, conjuring up some wounding from the past, which is what's going on with this person. Meaning like, hey, I love on you. I love you from afar. I love you from across the universe because I know we can't be together again, but you taught me something. You showed me something. You were the catalyst for this healing path and healing journey that I'm on now today. It was you who woke me up, or you who planted the seed that eventually blossomed into an awakening for me. You never told me about the birds and the bees, about hide and go seek, what he gets when he finds me. So there was a game afoot, and this person might not have known. They might not have wised up to the players of the game, the rules of the game, the fact that there was a game. And remember, I was talking about that damsel archetype, that distorted feminine. When that comes up in a masculine energy or a male-bodied individual or a male-identifying person, that's even worse. Because it basically is saying, I don't want to take responsibility. It's not about needing help, needing support, needing assistance. It's about saying, I'm in this position of vulnerability and need, and I'm taking responsibility and acknowledging that I have need, and I'm open to willingly negotiate, navigate a mutually beneficial nourishing needs exchange, versus I'm a woman, I have a vagina, come help me, or, you know, I'm wounded, I'm needy, come help me. That's almost an entitlement, and it's an entitlement from a vulnerable place, which can create emotional distortions. It can create resentments, and a resentment is an expectation is a premeditated resentment. So a resentment is an unmitigated expectation. And that's an open loop. What is an open loop? It's an unknown objection. It's an unmitigated expectation. I can continue, but I will kind of want to stop because we have 4 cards that popped out. Child orphan was in the reverse. So we have child eternal, child orphan. So this person was looking to us to help them conquer their fears of survival, conquer their fears of showing up, being present, and being secure in the self if some wounding experience happens. Because you might get wounded, but it's not always a trauma. A trauma is a wound where the coping rises beyond the level that we previously experienced. So what is a trauma? A trauma is an experience where we register or sustain a wound, and it's beyond the level of known coping for ourselves. So basically, if there's a trauma, you had to learn in order to heal from that experience. You can go into a situation and get wounded. Like, you can go out to the bar, you can hit on 5 to 10 people, get rejected by 9 of them, go home with the 10th one. Yeah, that was a wounding experience, but it wasn't necessarily a trauma. And then you could end up going home with somebody, and then you wake up the next day and your DVD player and your boombox is missing. That might be a trauma. You hear what I'm saying? Example, who knows? You can, fill in the blanks yourself. So feelings of abandonment that stifle maturation, seeking inappropriate surrogate families. So that's the projection, projection, repression, suppression, basically projecting onto others. That's the child orphan is what I'm getting. Okay, we're going in the reverse order. So the damsel is the first one out. So yeah, waiting for somebody to come in and save, having these inappropriate or, inaccessible or unapproachable romantic delusion, confusion, illusions is what I'm getting. And then the waiting instead of taking accountability, responsibility, and going after. And when you go after something, you don't need to actually physically move, especially if you're feminine oriented, whether it's identified or assigned or whatever, female bodied or whatever. The feminine archetype is like the garden. So don't spend your time chasing hummingbirds and butterflies and honeybees. Spend your time cultivating a beautiful, magnificent garden. Garden of Eden. Eve, come on. Chamba, come on. Oshun, come on. Look at the color of this. Come on. So cultivate a bigger, brighter, better garden. Cultivate a beautiful body, spirit, soul, mind, spirit, and then you'll attract those hummingbirds, those honeybees, those butterflies to you. If you spend your time, effort, and energy chasing after what you think is for you or think that you want, you leave no room, no space, no time for the things that actually for you to energetically, vibrationally match to you. Okay. Ooh, that was a mouthful. And then hedonist, all right? So instead of indulging in pleasure or needing some kind of affirmation, affection that comes from outside, I'm hearing that hole in your heart is a God-sized hole that only God can fill it. So a hole in your soul is a God-sized hole and only God can fill it. So if you're waiting for something outside of you to come in and feed and fill what's alive in you, you might be losing you. You might be losing you. So instead of pursuing pleasure to the detriment of health, indulging at the expense of others, also I'm getting this a lot, especially from my spiritual children. A man is not a plan. If you're distracting yourself from your life, if you're distracting yourself from your spiritual devotion, if you're distracting yourself from your divine mission, your sacred calling with a man is not a plan, okay? And when you're on your purpose, when you're on your path, when you're on your journey, fully aligned, fully embodied in the spirit, the right man will automatically come. Where can you find this man that you're looking for? He's at the vibration you need to be living at. It's the same thing with the job, okay? So inspires creative energy to embrace the good things in life, celebrating the beauty in oneself and others. That's really what we should be. And that came through. I'm sorry if it feels like you're being scolded, but it needed to be said. And I hate the word but, excuse me. So angel here, this is really great because that's that weak and meek energy. Even if you're not, you can come off like that if you're really so peaceful and pure that others aren't perceiving you correctly because they might be operating in a more negative vibration. And so your purity looks to them like weakness. But it says here, acting innocent or angelic to mislead others or falsely claiming to be in touch with the angelic realms or the spiritual realms. I've even seen that this happens a lot because I'm attracted to a certain type of mate. And until I was healed, even just recently, maybe 6 months ago, they get afraid of the intuitive abilities. They get afraid that we're connected to the angelic realms, that we can sense and peer beyond the veil, and we have insight and intuition and all that. That can also frighten people. Okay, and we might come in like the rescuer. We might come in, the empath and narcissist spectrum, but also the empath rescuer dichotomy. Okay, where we find somebody we're attracted to because of woundedness or vulnerability, and they might be going through this world, kind of ignorant, kind of innocent, because they might not even be aware of their need for healing, really. And we see it, and so we start loving on them, nurturing on them, and an attraction happens because they're affirming our desire to love and nurture. And that's the thing, if you need to heal somebody, stop touching their genitals. If you need to heal somebody, actually withdraw your love energy, at least romantic love energy, and focus on their healing. And tell them, you know, if you can do this healing yourself or you're healing with somebody else, we might be able to heal towards each other. We might be able to heal together, but we shouldn't be healing each other. Now, of course, that's the generalized energy of a relationship. There will be times when you have to heal your person. What happens if you go out on a camping trip or you're away on a week-long vacation and something comes up, whether it's emotional or the person breaks their leg and you need to, you know, tourniquet or pull a splint or whatever, you know, please take the spirit and not the actual letter, okay? So helping those in needs with no expectation of return, that is a higher healing energy, and that's not always what we're getting. And then again, this orphan, independence of learning to go at it alone, instead of codependency, frankly, okay? So, I'm gonna do this, but I'm already feeling uncomfortable with the amount of time we've spent here. I'm just oriented, man. But so another thing about loving on a person or finding your mate, it's good to have an ideal in your mind of who you are and what you want, and allow the universe to kind of remind you a few times. So this has happened. First of all, I always meet somebody when I'm not in a good mood. And usually for me, it's a traumatic situation, but my love ruler is in the 8th house. The funny thing is my romance ruler and my love ruler are both like in the 8th house. Okay, but what'll happen is a person will come towards me, it doesn't work out for whatever reason, and then my prayer, my manifestation intention would be like, send me somebody like that with these characteristics or better. And then lately I've noticed, because the 8th house is fear, I've noticed that if I'm feeling a little trepidation, intimidation, that might be somebody who's a good match. And stop trying to go towards the normal way that a relationship comes together or kind of person that would get into a relationship with. For some reason, I'm hearing that we're gonna do this, okay. So this isn't the energy in the collective here, all right. I'm gonna pause for a second. Okay, so the ancestors ain't playing. We better get them lessons, and we better do what Mama said here, because they ain't playing. That's what I'm getting. In Gros Bonange, that means that we all come from the goddess, and to her we are born like a drop of rain falling to the ocean. I had to let that out. But we all come from the same source. So, you know, like I'm saying, where the things that you want, they're at the vibration that you need to be at. And this is a new relationship, a right relationship, a healing relationship, a healthy relationship. Sun in the Lover's card, le bon, that's the ancestors. They will bring it upon the path if you're living your life, but you need to heal from your traumas, heal from your wounds, learn from your lessons. Okay, baby? So for some reason, we're ready. So we have Marasa here, it's the Lover's card. And then El Sole, the Sun, Le Baron, that's the face card of the deck. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles here in this deck. New Orleans Voodoo is called Oludumare. I gotta say this is Orisha oriented, and I'm not an Orisha, I'm a Voodoo. Okay. So this is the King of Pentacles in this other person's side. So they may be a Sagittarius. Okay, I just heard Sagittarius rising. That's a Virgo midheaven. I was gonna say they may be a fire rising or sun sign in Earth, probably Taurus with the Five of Pentacles here. But this means they need to be at least mastered in themselves. So they need to have done their work and done their healing. And then we're kind of good. So I was scared about time, but oh yeah, I was scared about time, but maybe I should shut up. Oh my God, I just heard shut the F up. Okay, Spirit's gonna make me, I'm disoriented. I don't know what to do with this or what's happening. So there's things I don't trust. And when I'm second guessing, I don't have that kind of faith. Faith comes from surety. even if it's surety in invisible things. And when you have increased knowledge through specific types of invisible experiences, it increases faith. So I'm gonna shut the F up because that's what Spirit just said, but I'm disoriented here, which means I'm doubting things, I'm questioning things, and I don't know where I'm being led, which means I'm not gonna pick everything up that's being put down. I'm just gonna say, okay, move on. It's some kind of fancy weekend. I'm noticing there's a bunch of people here from a few visiting. There's a bunch of people from a few local cities that are visiting, you know, hour this way, 3 hours this way, whatever. So, and I'm hearing a lot of motorcycles. So I'm assuming there's some kind of motorcycle thing going on in town. If you hear that noise out there, that's what's going on. But it's nighttime. I don't do bike stuff at night. Y'all crazy? I mean, Portland's not one of them crazy driving towns, but still. Okay, so we're kind of almost done here with the 2 aces coming out right away. So we have Da here. That's the sun spirits. It's the ace of wands. So first of all, King of Pentacles might be Big Daddy, Big Papa, Daddy Warbucks. With the 5 of Pentacles, it would mean that they recently got put out or something broke, some type of commitment broke. King of Pentacles, 5 of Pentacles. So when we meet this person, it also 5 of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, that's a person healing themselves. And I'm sorry, but I'm just saying that ding-a-ling swing. That's what that means. With the Queen of Wands here and then the 7 of Wands, ooh, they're gonna lay it down. That's an alert about sexual chemistry. 7 of Wands, Queen of Wands, that's being alerted to sexual chemistry. Okay, I'm just saying they find us very, very, very attractive. Somebody here may be a Sagittarius Venus. Somebody here may be a Gemini rising. It's more of a Gemini rising than Sagittarius Venus. So if you are Gemini rising, this combination means you're up next, honey. Okay, but do your spiritual practices. Do what mama says. You hearing me? Okay. Yeah, and then I do have that fire rising sign, but this is somebody on the crossroads towards strategize passions, motivations. I'm hearing they're gonna throw that D. This turned very overtly sexual, very quick. That took a turn. Oops. Okay. So okay. Ooh, I'm getting and I'm even seeing it. I'm seeing it. It's okay. Let me stop. There's an indigenous dance where you kind of summon the spirit or you raise the spirit up from the ground. I'm getting it. I'm getting it. We just have okay. Wow. All right. Let me just say it like this. Ace of Wands, Queen of Wands, 7 of Wands, Page of Wands, Knight of Wands, 4 of Wands, Knight of Wands, King of Wands, 6 of Wands. 6 of Wands is sex, especially when it comes out really close to the King of Wands. 4 of Wands is commitment in the twin. So they're going to do it the right way. They're going to get into the right way. And the first couple cards out were the King and 5 of Pentacles. So that's somebody taking charge. The King is like a mastermind, but it doesn't need to be a mastermind. So of course, the King of Swords is the archetype of the mastermind. But they're mastering or they're masterminding whatever it is of that suit. So King of Pentacles out first is so much better than the 5 of Pentacles coming out first, okay? So this is a person who's masterminding their own healing. King of Pentacles, 5 of Pentacles. Then we had the Ace of Wands. So they were very clear about their energy, about their force, what they give to, and they did have some kind of creative ideas, and they did have a vision about a creative new beginning. And then we had the Queen of Wands, which means that they're looking for a charismatic alpha female, somebody who's large and in charge, somebody who, with the 7 of Wands, can stand their ground. They want somebody who has strong boundaries. Okay, with the Page of Wands, strong boundaries, strong standards, somebody who is feeling brave, is feeling eager, who's feeling to get out there and cut it up. They want somebody, and that's me. I need somebody a little more charismatic than me because I'd rather stay home, but I'll get out there and cut it up if you have something specific that you want to do. Otherwise, I'm going to withdraw my energy. I also like somebody with a stronger libido than me because I don't want to be bothered, but I do want to give to the relationship. So if You know, if you have an itch to scratch, if we're feeling in flow and could deeply connected, it doesn't mean that I don't want to, but I would prefer not to. You know, so this is that kind of energy. Somebody, and this is not my energy, okay? I don't come out as, well, that's not true. I do have a earth midheaven. What I'm saying here is this is a person who's very clear on what they want. They're very clear on their healing. And I'm hearing ship over troubled waters. So this is a person that likes to do the work together. That's not me. I'm not a big collaborative person unless we agree to do that about each specific little thing. Okay, so this is a person who is a collaborator. They definitely want some kind of intimate union. They definitely want some type of long-term commitment. This is the only thing they're gonna give to. They're not gonna be giving to anything else because they'd rather be focused on other things. With the King of Wands, Nine of Wands, with the Six of Wands, they're newly healed or freshly healed. So this might be their first healthy relationship. And I am picking up on that with the cups, the Ace of Cups here. So that's a blessing from the universe. The universe is ready to bless them. I'm confused here. I'm very confused. I'm just gonna reshuffle because this is too much. So we're returning to the scene of the crime is what I'm getting. And they might apply, they might be a little heavy-handed. I'm hearing that they're going to overshare. I'm hearing that they're going to over-communicate as well because they just want to prevent a lot of things. But that's good because, you know, first of all, when a person is yapping their mouth, let them, a lot will be revealed. Second of all, oh, we're done. We're done. That's it. It's been an honor and a pleasure to serve you. Thank you for allowing me the privilege and pleasure to do so. I'm sorry that there was a truncation there, but I'm misinterpreting things. I'm overstimulated. I need to stop at this most precise and present moment. Please take good care of yourself. If you can support the channel in any way, that's great. Like, comment, share, subscribe, leave a review, book a session, send a donation, and take good care. Welcome home. If you are returning, welcome back. If you are new, it's an honor and a pleasure to have you. Thank you for allowing me the privilege and the pleasure to serve you. And that message goes to everyone. Until we meet again, until we read again, namaste, dandavat, and ashe. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.